my gosh, I love that song so much. Hi, guys. This is Neena Perez, and this is Straight Talk News Sugar Added. And I am here chilling with y'all on Winject. I am really just excited about all the new year and everything that's coming. And Winject is doing some pretty amazing things. I want to make sure that you are a part of my community. So please, I know I say this a lot, but I don't see y'all signing up. I see some of y'all, but I don't see all of y'all. So get your behinds on there and start signing up for the free community, because I really have a lot of things that are going to be really hitting that community in a very private way. I just want to deal with just my people in my private community, giving them more and more of, knowledge, things to expand, ways to look at life and business and all of that great stuff. So please make sure you go on to winject.com/register and join my community. Right after this episode, especially if you are like coming in a little later watching the replay, make sure that you stay on, because there's luxury branding with the brand architect Vivi is coming on. So I'm really excited. I already have it on my calendar to watch, and I'm really excited for that. So make sure that you guys stick around after this live and join that one, because that's going to be really, really great. She has so much knowledge. I've been watching her on like social media and things like that, and I'm loving what she's talking about. So make sure that you hang out for that luxury branding with Vivi. Okay. I'm not going to be back until the beginning of next year, because I'm going to take a couple of weeks off to kind of woosah and recoup and think about what I want to do for the new year, how exactly I want to impact the new year, who I want to impact in the new year. And I wanted to talk today about actually starting a new year with a new you. How do we do that? Right? Because I think I talked like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago about, new year and making it count, right? But this time I want to talk about a little bit. I want to go a little bit deeper too. Yeah, Straight Talk No Sugar Added discussion group. I want to make sure that you guys are a part of it, really. Okay, so it's winject.com/groups/Neena Perez. And I want to make sure that you guys go on there. It's free. It's free to be a part of the community, and I will pour into you. Okay. I will pour into you. So please make sure you go on to winject.com/groups/Neena Perez. Make sure that you register, get on there for free, and be a part of my community, because I'm not kidding. That is one of the things that are on my list of goals to do and to accomplish for 2023 is to kill it in, that private community feel, because I like that. I like to pour into others, and I want to make sure that I take the time to pour into you in a very special way, right? So actually starting a new year with a new you takes a lot of thought, right? And the reason I even am bringing this up, as you know, the new year is around the corner, right? So I want to make sure that we we connect in that way, where you realize that it's not just about the new year, it's about your life, it's about moving forward, it's about causing transformation, right? For me, and I hope that for you, you seek a higher power. For me, I start the new year off with thinking of God and God in my life and what that means, and how I can bring something forth to the table that brings I always say I want God to be proud of me and the creation that he made of me, and that I also follow what it is that he is wanting for my life. Right now, I found a scripture that I really, really like, and it's in God's word when it comes to us, right? It was the last words that God had given Moses right before Moses died, and it was recorded in Deuteronomy 30, and it says, "This day I call heaven and earth as a witness against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life, so that you and your children may live." And I realize, and I'm sure you do too, like there are choices in front of us, life and death, blessings and curses. But then God goes further on to just say, but choose life. Okay, now choose life. And what he's saying is that I got you. I got your back. I want you to be blessed. I want you to choose life, right? And to have this way of connecting with God, with the world in a way that is powerful, impactful, and tangible, right? Now, He is gracious enough to give us a brain, thank God, that expands, right? It has neuroplasticity. It expands, it grows, it learns. And so you can take this opportunity to choose life, to choose the blessings, right? And expand your mind on what that means. So this neuroplasticity that we have enables you to adapt your behaviors, to learn something new, to, recollect, right? To change something that's in your mind, to transfer that feeling of energy, to just really expand the way you are going to impact and show up, the way you're going to show up in the world, right? There's a lot of talk out there, as you know, about mindset, right? About your mind flow and your mindset in the online and the personal development space. But, I talk about it a lot myself because that's what transformed my life. God transforming the way I think, transforming how I show up in the world has really impacted my life in a beautiful way. But what does that really mean when all of these people are out there talking to you about mindset and mind flow, right? Because to me, it means that you can actually use the neuroplasticity of the brain, choose life, choosing great things in your life to actually change the outcome, right? It means that you can actually start creating your own reality. And it doesn't have to be based on what you learned when you were younger, what somebody taught you, right? You can literally change your brain, or at least you can change how your brain is functioning, right? How your brain maybe goes from victim to victorious, to from negative to positive, right? The having the right mindset will really transform your life, because that's where it begins. It begins in the mind. Now, I know that there are a lot of superheroes. I call them superheroes, online, making all of these stories of grandeur, right? And knowing that it is really hard for you and me, right? When we're looking at these people that are living in this supposed grandeur, sometimes it's hard for us to differentiate the reality, or what's real, with what's not real, right? For fiction from fact, right? And this is, well, I mean, it's a great trick. I mean, I think that they are phenomenal communicators in that they are usually really great presenters. They are geniuses at communicating with you. They have the power to get you to believe something that's completely not true and fabricated, right? And so you think that they have this Midas touch, right? That everything they touch turns to gold. But just like that Greek mythology, because I know that you probably know this, but the Greek mythology is that King Midas, everything he touched turned to gold, right? But just like just like the King Midas is a mythology, so is what they're selling you, right? I mean, it is easy. Let's be real. It is so easy for me and you to believe what we want to believe, especially when we think it's going to impact our lives the way we want it to. Hi, Lauren. Happy holidays to you, too. So nice to see you here, right? It is easy to believe what you want to believe, especially when you think it is going to help you with achieving your success, right? So let's take responsibility for that. Okay. Yes, people are out there selling you stuff that's not true, acting like they're the superheroes of the year, making it out to be like they're living this life that they're not. But you have to remember that it is you that's believing it, and it is you that is actually wanting to blindly follow someone who is probably not leading you in the right direction, right? So it's easy to believe what you want to believe, especially when you think it's going to help you achieve success. That's our ego. Our ego likes that, right? And what ends up happening is when you don't get to have the success that that person has, or what they told you that they were going to show you, or give you the tools to make you do this. And what ends up happening is when you don't have that, you are going to feel like a failure because you are comparing yourself, right? Like, you feel like you can't measure up, that maybe you're just, not getting the techniques right. Like, you're not as good as them. Like, you're not as good salesman. You're not as good, at coaching. You're not as good as being a consultant. You're not as good as running a business. And because you're comparing yourself to someone who sold you a fabricated story to begin with, right? I want you to seek you. You need to start being accountable to you. Be accountable to yourself. Your bad habits are not going to be broken and replaced with good habits just because. It's going to take a lot of commitment. It's going to take a lot of discipline, right? It's going to take you replacing bad behaviors with good behaviors. And that takes freaking work. And I don't care who sits out here and tries to tell you that they have a program within, 3 weeks, you're going to make, millions of dollars because they said you would. It takes commitment. It takes discipline. It takes obedience to your higher power, to who you're connecting to what you know you're supposed to be doing. And the truth is you have to put yourself in a place where you're going to say, I am accountable to what I have and what I don't have, what I create and what I don't create. And I'm still doing this myself, right? I mean, it takes a lot of discipline right now because I want to curse some people out today. Okay. But I am really going to commit myself to discipline and not do it because I know that that is not going to give me a favorable outcome. And so therefore I'm going to control my temper today. Right. I mean, it's almost like some of us have become really disciplined and committed to self-sabotage, to self-pity, to being a victim, to shifting blame, right? So it's somebody else's fault and never ours, right? And I'm telling you that these behaviors and these old ways and patterns of thinking, and let me tell you, I'm the first to tell you, there are many times where I want to go to my own pity party. I really, really do. I really, really do. Okay. But then I'm like, okay, what is this doing for you? How is this benefiting you? Oh, it's not. Keep it moving. Because I can easily get into self pity and victim behaviors. I honestly can do it. Or I can blame somebody for pissing me off like today, but I will. I won't do it, right? I'm not going to shift blame because I got to take responsibility for me. So be careful that you always find that peace within you and that accountability within you so you could check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? So be careful. All right, be careful. And as you're growing and going and expanding and you're reaching these places where you are being accountable to yourself, be careful that you surround yourself with people that are going to be true with you, be real with you, but also listen and be compassionate and maybe even support your dream, because there's a lot of dream killers out there. There's a lot of dream killers, right? When people can't get through their shit, they want to make sure that they have company so you can hang out with them in their shit. Don't do it to you. Don't do it to you. Okay? Dream killers will make sure to put you in this limbo. All right. And some of these dream killers, believe it or not, are people who are here, you're being these superheroes and telling you stuff that is not true. And I know because I've worked with a few and I'm like, wow, this was disappointing. This was disappointing. Right. And so, but I thought I could do what they said. They said I could do XYZ. And I thought that was the way to do it. And then I quickly realized that it fell apart when I knew more than them. And what they were talking about was not valid, right? So be careful because they will kill your dreams too with their lies. All right. Be accountable. Your accountability to yourself includes all of your values. What are your governing values? I wonder if you even know what they are, right? You have to start to master your game. To be successful, to get on track, to do what it is you need to do, you need to write down what your non negotiables are. What are they? Do you know them? Determine your core and governing values, determine your non-negotiables so that in your life, you will know that this is a non-negotiable. I will not sell my soul for this. I'm not selling my soul, right? I'm not doing X because it makes you comfortable, but it damages me. You have to write down your non-negotiables. My family's non-negotiable. You're not going to mess with my family, right? I have decided to do the hard work on myself. I've always decided to do that this year, especially because 2023 is here. I'm 50 this year. And I really have to decide what the hard work is going to be, set up my mindset for it so that I can build that business that I'm trying to build. Right. I decided that I'm really going to hyper focus on building this powerful platform that takes all of my knowledge, my expertise, and everything that I'm doing and put it into an actual system that I can help powerfully women develop their life, their business, their mindsets, all of that, because this is what I do. right? And so I want to see real transformation in their lives. And how am I going to do that? I need to have a really great, robust, really packed in system, course, class, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to make this very heavy and robust and very impactful because it's time to cause transformation in people's lives. My life was transformed. I want to transform others. And the only way to do that is to actually stop, pause, say, hold on a second. What is it that I want? What are my values? Right? Sit quietly asking myself, what is it that's governing my life? Right? And how do I set up myself with non-negotiables so that I don't start ruining my process as I go? Right? So I started thinking about, what do I ask myself? And what should you ask yourself? I think you should ask yourself, what do I love most about my life? Right? Do you love your family? Do you love your friends? Do you love your pets? Do you love, do you love your career? Do you love to start your business? I don't know what that is, but write down what you love more about your life, because that's going to really tap into what some of your governing values are. Okay. I also want you to ask, what do I most admire about myself? I know, oh my God, Nina, I sound so conceited. Yep. You need to ask yourself what you're admiring about yourself. This is the problem, right? Is that we constantly feel like if we pour into ourselves, if we look at ourselves, if we cause value within ourselves, that we are, selfish, or that we're conceited, or that we don't care about others. And that's not true. Two things can live in the same space. You can still value yourself and admire who you are, and still be a person who gives and values others. Okay. So I want you to take a pause. What do you admire the most about yourself? For example, for me, I really admire that I am very trustworthy, that I am hardworking, that I am honest, that I'm creative, that I am loving, that I'm empathetic, right? I love that about myself. I love that I care about people, right? I love that I finally started to care about me. So, what do you most admire about yourself? I want you to write that down, okay? How do other people see you? How do they feel when you're around them and when you leave? Right? Because when you leave is when they really talk about you, right? But how did you make them feel when you were there? Because people don't care about what you say, they care about how you make them feel. I'm sure you've heard that before, and it is very true. Okay, very true. Because I can tell you some people that are in my life that go, oh my God, I just love them. I can't maybe tell you what we said in our conversation, but the way they made me feel like I really love them, right? So, how is it that you make people feel, right? How do other people see you? All right. I boldly enough say, ask your friends, ask your coworkers, ask your colleagues, ask your partner, ask your spouse, ask them how it is that you make them feel when you're around them, and what's the lingering effect, right, of when you leave. What are the couple of other things that you can do every day in your life and in your business that, if you didn't do anything else, if you didn't do anything else, but you can do this, what would it be? How would it make you feel? What is it that makes you want to move forward towards, like for me, building that business for women, right? The couple of things in my life that if I could do nothing else, would be just that, would be helping women transcend all of the things in their life that are holding them back when it comes to like their emotional status, like, their inner, like reaching that inner child and transforming that in them. That's the NLP coming out of me, right? But I love to see women transform. And if I could just do that in my business, I don't need to do anything else. I love that so much because I love the way my life has transformed, right? And do I still have a lot of work to do? Hell to the yeah, I got a lot of work to do. Of course. But I want real change. Do you want real change? Right? Because if you want real change, you're going to have to check yourself. You're going to have to check yourself and check to see if you are really getting into this new year that's coming tomorrow, even, because I don't believe in resolutions. I just believe in like really creating your life and setting your life up for new things, right? And you need to check yourself. Are you walking in some shame in your life? We all got some baggage, y'all. We all got some baggage. Are you walking in shame though? Right? let's deal with that. We have to deal with that. You have to deal with that because it's those things that, yeah, you can be successful, but you can't be really like interconnected and involved with your success if you are walking in shame and strife and hate and unforgiveness and fear and this low self-esteem and doubting yourself and imposter syndrome and gossiping and envy and jealousy and you defeated mindset, like you can't do it, and anger and all of that stuff and laziness, all of that. You have to check yourself and see if you are walking and operating in those things. I know people hurt us. I know that gets to you. I know. But remember what I said in the beginning? Choose life. Choose blessing. Okay, you need to deal with that. You need to deal with these things. I call them, well, I don't call them, it's biblical, but it's called a stronghold, something that holds you strongly in your life. And it keeps you held back from all the blessings and the things that you are going to have in your life. Choose life. Choose life. Choose blessing. Let go of that stuff, right? So if you're walking around with shame and strife and hate and unforgiveness and fear and low self-esteem and, all of this stuff going on in your life, I'm telling you, you're just carrying heavy ass baggage into the new year. And all it's going to do is drag your ass down for the next whatever until you get rid of it, right? Because luggage sticks around for a long time until you decide to replace it, right? So choose God, choose life, choose blessing, and you need to deal with these strongholds in your life so that you can make room for the better things. You can make room for the better things that want to come into your life, want to come and bless you, want to come and give you life in your life, right? Because you can be alive and not live. We all know that. I know that there was seasons in my life where I'm alive, but I felt like if I was alive or dead, made no difference, right? So choose to bring things into your life that'll bless you, that'll bring life in, that'll give you the mind to be open, to be creative, to be daring, right? To be able to leap forward in life, right? This is how you actually start a new year with a new you. Choose life. Choose blessing. And everything else that comes against what you feel and what you know you want to create for this new year, the things that you want to expand on your business, expand in your life, expand in your health, all of that. If there's something bumping up against that, I want you to pause for a second and ask yourself, what am I doing here? Do I have something here that's stopping me? Am I feeling down about this? Is this creating low self-esteem? Am I jealous that somebody else has something I don't have? Am I defeated? Do I have limitations on how hard and how fast I can go? I have those. And when I come up against them, I choose God. I choose life. I choose blessing because I only have one life. And I don't even know if right after we end this call, I'll just drop dead. It can happen. It happens to a lot of people. We are all guaranteed to leave one day. I just want to know that I made some sort of impact and that I came on here and told you the truth and that I just gave it to you straight, right? That's who I am. I'm a straight talker. But I don't want to bullshit, and I don't want to have you go into a new year bullshitting yourself. And that's why I do this. That's why I come on here. That's why I do what I do. That's why I say what I say. And I hope that this will impact you even a little bit. Even a little bit. Right? Because I can't transform your life, but you can transform your life. And maybe I can drop in some knowledge real quick that you can pull with you to actually start a new year with a new you. I love you guys so much. I am not going to be here for the next, maybe I think it's 2 weeks or whatever, but I will be here for the new year. And I want to hear what you've done to actually start a new year with a new you. Drop me some comments. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you do to start your new year with a new you. I know for me this year, building my empire. I am building my business. I am building the platform. I am building and revamping everything. I don't know what that looks like yet. I just know that I'm doing it. I know that I'm doing it. I know that I'm going to be hyper focused on my podcast to align with my business. I know that I'm going to have my business align with my values, okay, and align with my knowledge and my expertise and what I do to transform people's lives. I don't know why I stopped like really hyper focusing. What's that, Chris? Stop blocking your blessing. Most people think too small. Exactly. And project things that they think are possible, but to attract the impossible, you have to zoom out to visualize what you are missing. And I hope this makes sense to those who are reading this. It sure the hell does. It makes a hell of a lot of sense to me. And you're right. It is about zooming out, isn't it? It literally, that's, and that's a lot of what I'm talking about, right? To actually take notice of what your values are. Stop for a second, pause. What's important to me, right? Chris is making so much sense, right? We do think too small because we think too small of ourselves. Here's the thing. We don't usually think too small of that other person who said they're going to do something. We want to encourage them, right? We want them to have it. We want them to, you can do this, girl. Please, you got this, man. You got this, right? This is what we do. But when it comes to ourselves, this big, we start thinking small. Oh, I don't know if I could do it, but because we set limitations up for ourselves, or we've allowed other people's opinions and thoughts to have set limitations to our lives. And that's just facts. That is just facts. And you guys need to start actually starting a new year with a new you. And that means to actually stop and pause and look at yourself and say, what is it that I really, 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 really want? Because ain't nobody gonna be able to answer that like you, especially when you are alone with yourself, right? When you are alone with yourself, you know exactly what your non-negotiables are and what it is that your values are. You know what they are. Some people value money. Some people value, career. Some people value business. Some people value all of those things. But when you peel back everything, what is it that you really freaking value? Okay. And what do you admire in yourself the most? You have way more skill sets than you think you have. And it's not until fire comes to you that you actually realize how refined you are. Think about it this way. Somebody put a gun to your loved one's head and told you, I will shoot you if you don't create blank. You will freaking create it because you'll be like, oh, hell no. Something's on the line and it's my value. It's my family. It's who I love, right? Free will is an illusion. We all have to all we have is conditioning behavior and consequences. And even the worst behavior followed by pleasant consequences is bound to be repeated. Wait a minute. I gotta say that again. Free will is an illusion. All we have is conditioning behavior and consequences. And even the worst behavior followed by pleasant consequences is bound to be repeated. What? Okay. Okay, Mr. Chris Ross. Next time it's going to be me and you on a live talking about the new year. Especially when I come back, if you have time on your schedule, because I know you're a busy man, and we're gonna talk about free will being an illusion. If you're in the mood, we'll talk about God, what that means to you, and how how you're gonna be shaping the world and how you're gonna be shaping the new year. So I hope you will take my invitation. But we will talk about that. All right, guys, I love you so much. Chris Ross is absolutely an amazing human. And for those of you who don't know him, get to know him. You need to follow Chris Ross on Instagram and all that. Winject as well. Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, like all of it. It is just a phenomenal thing. I love you guys so much. Happy freaking New Year. Please bring out the new you for the new year so that you can make the impact you want to make. This is Neena Perez, Straight Talk, no sugar added. Until next time.